Today we are going to be doing a one-on-one again. So this is going to be every Tuesday. We're going to be doing an episode of Martha Fix My Business. And so I have Tabitha here with me today, and we're going to be going over Tabitha's business. At the very beginning, she's going to let us know what her business is, and then she's going to let us know any sort of sticking points that she's having in her business. We're going to drill down and shake some stuff loose. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get at it. So Tabitha, tell us about, and if you see me looking down, I'm not ignoring Tabitha. I am taking notes because that is what I do feverishly all the time when I'm doing one-on-ones. So Tabitha, tell us about your business.
Okay, so I'm a holistic nutritionist.
Okay.
And my husband is becoming a personal trainer because we have two kids that are in competitive sports. Mm-hmm. We have a daughter who's a competitive dancer, and we have a son who's a competitive tennis player.
Okay.
And they are getting to the point in their sports now where they're to the level requires a lot of travel.
Okay.
So we have a business currently where we have to be here to make it run. Mm-hmm. And we want to transition into having a fitness and nutrition business that we can do mobily from anywhere while we support our kids in their activities.
Okay. So what are you, where are the sticking points right now that you're experiencing?
The sticking point for me is getting out of how do we transition from we have to be here to do the business to mobile. Like, I don't know how to make all those moving pieces and parts work, and what would that even look like? Like, what would we offer? How would we offer it?
Well, what are you doing in the Be Here model?
Home remodeling and building solid wood custom dog kennels.
So that's not at all holistic nutritionist or personal trainer.
No,
okay.
We want to transition into this 100% so that we can travel with our kids and not one of us have to stay here.
Yeah. Local. Okay. And so what from the holistic nutritionist, I love a good family brand. I love that. So from holistic nutritionist and personal trainer, what are you envisioning as the brand and as the deliverables there?
Well, our brand is Phoenix Fitness and Nutrition. We love everything Marvel and superhero. So Phoenix Rising from the Ashes was just a perfect fit because we want to help families restore their health naturally through nutrition and through fitness, but especially families that have kids that are in sports and activities don't always take into consideration how strenuous those activities are for them and that they need extra nutrients, extra vitamins, antioxidants, all of those things to keep going, especially if they're in school. We homeschool, and a lot of people have kids in football, volleyball, soccer, all the school activities, but they still have to go to a full day of school and then have practice and then have games and how strenuous that is for them. And we just want families to come together and exercise and eat right as a unit, as a cohesive unit. Yeah. But I have no idea how to do that. Like, how do we get people to know?
I think it's pretty easy, honestly. It's, first of all, you're speaking to, there are so many parents that are in your boat, not necessarily where they have both kids that are, traveling with competitive sports, but they're at least traveling with one kid with competitive sports. And I think once you start adding travel into any family's daily life, you start adding fast food and you start adding some different things that are like, they don't necessarily want to be doing that, but they feel like they have to because they have to eat something. And so from the perspective of, how to do this in a mobile way versus, having to be home, I think it's very easy. I think you literally show people what you're doing. Well, you show what and why, right? So you show them what you're doing in order to be able to travel and still eat well and still keep the kids nourished. And then even whenever you're home and they're doing practice and stuff like that, you're showing them what you're using to supplement their natural diet. So maybe you even share the diet with them. I think we've talked about that before. So you share like a diet. Weren't you going to do like a meal plan or something?
Yes, and then I decided if I do that and we're traveling, then my clients won't have a proper meal plan for the week because we might be on the road doing something completely different. And so I
Okay.
got hung up in that aspect of it. So maybe I'm overthinking it.
I think you're not thinking far enough into it. I think what people really need is they need help meal planning when they're traveling. I think that's actually the thing. So to be able to sustain your normal lifestyle even while traveling, I mean, shoot, I need planning while traveling. Let's be realistic. Like I get room service and stuff like that whenever I'm traveling, and it's not necessarily because I want to. It's because I don't feel like I have any other options. But if there were other options, I think the thing that it's almost like, and everybody is this way, and I know that because I'm this way too. Whenever we travel, everything goes out the window. It's like all normal life goes out the window, and it's just like you just get by. And while traveling sometimes is fun and that sort of thing, really, so far as like your normal schedule and things like that, you're kind of just flying by the seat of your pants and you're just getting by. And so what you're doing right now is you're saying, okay, well, I'm able to support these people whenever I'm home, but whenever I'm traveling, fly by the seat of your pants, just getting by, that sort of thing. But what if you leaned into that? What if you leaned into but what if I could make it normal to be traveling? What if the traveling could be its own set of normal, and then home is its own set of normal? Does that make sense? You can systematize the travel, and then you take a lot of anxiety off of everybody, quite frankly. What does
Right.
that sound like to you?
Um, I think I'd have to really sit down and look through it. Because when we travel and we travel as a family, we usually do like an Airbnb because we want a kitchen.
Right.
That is our main goal when we travel is we want to make sure we have a kitchen so that we can prepare our own meals and not have to eat or rely on the hotel restaurant or, restaurants around because my youngest daughter tends to be more of a vegan. And then, of course, my husband and son are more of the carnivores in the
Yeah.
family. And so trying to make sure everybody has proper meals in a restaurant doesn't always work.
Yeah. Right. So then
And so
one of your things that you teach people is how to get the best Airbnb. So that's the very first step. How to be able to get an inexpensive or the most cost-efficient Airbnb that gives you exactly what you need. Make sure it's by a grocery store. Maybe, I know before we had talked about Instacart, maybe even showing them how to be able to pick things up via Instacart and just get it delivered to them. But that's the very first step of what you teach them. And so it's creating home away from home so you don't have that sort of flying by the seat of your pants scenario. And I honestly think that thing that, and this is typically with our businesses, guys, like everybody that's watching, I think that the thing that you're thinking is the block or is the problem is the thing you need to lean into, because it's everybody's block and it's everybody's problem, and that's why it needs to be leaned into by somebody. It needs to be made easier by somebody. That's kind of the whole point here.
okay, yeah, I just like totally froze up on that. Like, how am I supposed to do this?
How do you do it? You document, right? You document what you do whenever you go away. So this is just like anything, right? Like with anything that we're creating, you create the plan and the system based on what you do. And so you make sure that your kids are nourished and things like that. You have these supplements that you use. You get an Airbnb. You get groceries sent to the house. You make sure that the house that you're getting has X, Y, and Z in the kitchen. Like there are things that people don't think to even do. They're kind of just in emergency mode. Oh my gosh, find this place. But that's all that you do. Are you overthinking it?
I think so.
Okay, because it's not difficult at all. It's just I can't do something like this because I don't do that. You know, I don't have kids that are in competitive sports and we're traveling for competitive sports, but that's the whole in that you have with that community and with that audience, is that you literally have kids that are in that position. You're traveling for that reason. So naturally that's bat signal. And people are like, oh, she's going through what I'm going through. Cool, she can be able to help. That's the whole point of bat signal, right? And so you put that bat signal out, they come to you, and then you can help them do this thing that they're all doing as well, and maybe you can help them do it better. That's the whole thing here. That's how you build a brand around all of this stuff. And then all you do is you add in these extra things. So your husband's doing, he's getting trained for a personal trainer, right?
Correct.
And so, or getting certified. Then he can just add into that. So in your community, in your group, where you're serving these parents and stuff, I mean, maybe you have dads that are wanting to get rid of their dad bod, you know, or whatever people are calling it these days. But you're serving your people in different ways. And that's the awesome part of a family brand, is that, you know, you have your, like, let's look at our brand. Mike does like YouTube, and Mike is a trends guy. So Mike will look at trends. He will look at numbers. He will look at data. He will look at forward-facing info and data, right? And so that's whenever he has to come on and do a live because I'm somewhere else, he's giving that information. So he doesn't try to sit here and do what I do. He does what he does really well, which complements. And so that's the same with your husband. Like, you support your people, which are families. So parents of kids that are in competitive sports. Once you really hone down into that focus, you're going to realize you can help them in boop, 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 so many different ways. And that will be from the holistic nutrition standpoint. And not all of them will necessarily want that, but who gives a rip? Some of them will want that. That's the whole thing, is like, we support all of our people. Not all of our people are going to want everything that we're doing, but we're supporting our people in the way that we know that they need to be supported. And if they jump in, they jump in. And if not, no big deal.
Yeah, I think what I was doing, and I'm sure this happens all the time, is I was trying to make a business that was so complicated and outside of something that I already do.
It does happen all the time. That's why I love talking to people, because it does. We naturally, I think as a human, like, we naturally think that the thing that's going to make us successful is over here and we have to reach for it. And the reality is that the thing that's going to make us successful is the thing we do every single day already. But we just don't realize what value it holds.
Nature.
That's it.
It's just
precisely it.
Yeah, I just do it. I don't think about it because it's so easy and second nature.
Yes. Yeah. I hope you just blew some people's minds, because that's Melanie just said light bulb for me too. There it is. That's what this is truly it. It's the thing, your bat signal, guys, is the thing that you do every single day, and you don't realize how valuable it is because you do it every day. And because you do it every day, you only know your own experience, and you imagine that because you do it every day, everybody else already knows this stuff. And it's not true. It's not true.
Yes. That's exactly. And trying to figure out the delivery mode.
Yeah.
Like, what's the best way to deliver it? Is it on YouTube? Is it on Facebook? Is it in classes? Is it PDFs? Like, how do I get the information out there?
It's the HBR method, and you're in HBR. So top of funnel is going to be your social media, YouTube, stuff like that. Go ahead and send an email through HBR, and they'll go through. I'm not going to go through the whole method here because this is public.
Yeah.
But it's the HBR method. It's there's a whole down to be able to break all of that up. But workshops, definitely great. People are starving for in-person workshops. So if you can do like local workshops, that's cool. And then also online workshops, obviously I do those all the time. And then, you have your actual programs too. So whenever you feel the need to develop like a full-on program, like your meatloaf is what I call it, right? Whenever you decide to develop your full-on program, then there's that, and then that's sort of like an evergreen thing. But yeah, it's the first thing that anybody needs to do in this capacity is you need to determine, okay, where are they right now? Where are your people right now? They're probably chaotically traveling and eating McDonald's and hating themselves for it afterward, right? And then where do they want to be? They want to be sustainable. They want to still be healthy. They want their kids to feel good. They don't want to feel guilty about what they feed their kids while they're traveling, right? And then so you go from where they are to where they want to be, and you show them all the in between. And so you document what the in between looks like, the different steps. And once that's documented, you decide what you want to do with that content, and that's your very first step. So anybody that's watching this that isn't in any of my stuff, that's your very first step. Once you know who your people are and what you're going to give them.
Okay, yeah, and I would have never thought to add in trying to find a place to stay and
you break
all
it
of
all
that.
the way down. Break it
Yeah,
down
like
to
now my head's just spinning because I'm going, oh, we have to buy gear all the time. We have to buy equipment all the
yes,
time. And
yes.
how do I pack all of that? And what do I use? Like there's so
Break it down
many
to
different
its
options.
most granular meta level. Break it down all the way. Imagine somebody is, they're getting ready to go on a trip. They haven't done anything in order to go on the trip. You start from there and then start documenting, like for your next trip, document what you're doing as you do it. And now you
Okay.
know what that looks like and why, because that's going to be your module, right? That's going to be a lesson.
Okay. Yeah, I would have never thought of that.
Yeah, that's what people want. Everybody just wants a hand to hold. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of hands to hold out there. But they just want a hand to hold to show them, here's how you get through this part. Here's how you do this thing. And yeah, so and you may
I
even,
would have never.
you can,
That just didn't cross my mind.
you even can throw like affiliate stuff in there, obviously, because maybe you have things that you travel with, like maybe you have certain things that you travel with that you would not do life without traveling, because the Airbnb isn't going to have this thing. So you make sure that you bring it with you. And then you just have your affiliate link for that thing. Like it's it's all encompassing. You can put 3 streams in one just through teaching that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that helped. I totally.
Yeah. We
I
shake
was
something
just
loose.
like you said, I was thinking so small that I was just focused on this one thing like this. I wasn't even looking at all of it.
Yeah. That's why I asked you. I was like, this is a weird question. I'm just going to ask you. You just overthinking this right now? Because this is like a pretty simple, and most people do that. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with you for doing that. It's most people do that. But yeah. Well, do you feel like you're going to get off this call and start just writing feverishly?
Yeah, because my 11-year-old daughter is a nutrition geek too, and she loves to cook. And so we do a lot together.
Do videos.
And so I already started about trying to incorporate her into that side of it, because a lot of times if kids see kids doing things, then they will want to do what they do.
Absolutely. That's a great thing for, make videos, do videos of that, but that's some good YouTube content as well.
Yeah.
You'll have to tag it as a child is in the video, because YouTube is very protective of children, which is great. I think whenever she's over 12, I can't remember what the age is. You won't have to tag that anymore. But yeah, that's great, because then you'll have kids actually watching that. So you may want to, whenever you're doing those videos, make sure you've got some like funny stuff going on. Leave the bloopers in. or even have somebody do the editing for you so they can add funny things in whenever there's goofy stuff that happens. Whenever they watch it, they can add some sound effects and stuff like that. That's great
Okay.
for YouTube, especially when there's kids in the video. That's great for watchability and rewatchability for kids. But yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. That's cool. And have it all come back. Like the call to action is always to either join the group or go into, like whatever freebie you have, those are your calls to action from the YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, because
Boom.
she's already, and I was already thinking affiliate links for that because we have so much kitchen equipment.
That's it. That's it. It all gets
Yeah.
easy. It all gets easy. Heck yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that helped me.
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, it was good talking to you this morning, Tabitha.
Well, thank you.
You got it.
Yeah, it's always an easy call when you can get on and go, okay, you're just overthinking this.
Yeah, I know. I was like, this is easy. All right. Well, easy Tuesday for Martha.
Well, it's 222 day.
Yeah, right? Everything got easy. For anybody that's like, oh my gosh, I need a one-on-one, because I imagine a lot of people after this think that. We've got these booked for like a year, so we don't need any of these. But if you want to schedule a one-on-one, you can go to withmartha.com. You can either schedule one with me if you want to, and I think it's just under one-on-one, or you can go under business strategist and you can schedule a one-on-one with my business strategist. They're able to help you just like I do. I have trained them to be able to do so. Costs a little bit less to work with them than it does with me, obviously. So thank you, Tabitha, for coming on this morning. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, man. Well, everybody, you have a great day. I will see you all later. Bye-bye.